Welcome to another day of Azure Advent Calendar 2019. This is day number 12, and I'm Mikey Bronowski. I'm going to talk about Azure Data Studio, which is probably the most offline of all Azure family members. First of all, wanted to thank Richard and Greg for hosting this event. A few words about me. I'm husband and father of 6 months old Arthur. Professionally, I work as a SQL DBA. When I'm not working, I try to learn at various data-related user groups in Poland and recently in the UK, for instance Leeds, Manchester, Southampton. Agenda of this short presentation covers what is Azure Data Studio, why we would like to use it, how we can use some of its features. Azure Data Studio ADS is a cross-platform database management tool, formerly known as SQL Operation Studio. One of its helpful features is IntelliSense. If you are using SQL Server Management Studio already, you might be familiar with it. It works a bit better in ADS. Another helpful feature are code snippets. There are some predefined snippets, but you can also create custom ones, and I'll show you that in a short demo. Azure Data Studio allows you to add some extensions. If you use VS Code, that might sound familiar too. Besides all of this, you can create custom widgets to create management dashboards. Last but not least are SQL Notebooks. That feature has its roots in Jupyter project that you, if dealing with data science, might already know. It helps to create active notebooks with instructions in text using Markdown and adding runnable scripts of PowerShell or SQL, for instance. Azure Data Studio is a tool that runs on multiple platforms like macOS, Linux, or Windows. If you are using Management Studio, you know that it only runs on Windows. In order to install Azure Data Studio, go to Google, look for Azure Data Studio. It will find the download page of Microsoft. Look for your binaries for your system, in my case Windows. Just download it, install, and at the end, launch it. Now you're ready to go. Run new query and connect to the SQL Server. Azure Data Studio is using IntelliSense and code snippets to help you code better and faster. You don't have to remember all of these keywords and syntax. You can also create your own snippets. Let's see. In Azure Data Studio, connect to SQL Server, and in my case it will be localhost. Once connected, just run new query, and you can run any query you want. So you want to change the context of the database, you're using use word, the IntelliSense will help you with the databases. It will list the available databases. You can also run the select query and start typing select star from and first letter of the object, and it will list the objects that starts with the letter. I want to see the backups for MSDB database, and it's very possible to use all this information. The IntelliSense also works with functions, so you want to see the version of the server. Just select add version, and it will show you the list. If you want to adjust some settings, just go to File, Preferences, and Settings, or Control Comma. Under the text editor, find Suggestions, and that's the IntelliSense. And you can go there and adjust some settings. If for some reason the IntelliSense is not helping you, go to Ctrl-Shift-P and start typing refresh IntelliSense cache. It might be the reason So this will refresh the IntelliSense. You can also assign the shortcut to this command. Just go to File, Preferences, Keyboard Shortcuts, and look for Refresh IntelliSense Cache. Once you find the option, by default it's not assigned to any key. So you want to try one combination, but if it's used already, the Azure Data Studio will shout. So choose different option and hit enter to save it. You can do it from the context menu or just using the plus sign or the pencil to edit. Now let's see how we can work with snippets. Just start typing SQL and you will see the list of the snippets. Let's create new table and it will provide you the code for creating new table and also highlight the table name in the whole script. If you want to run some different operation like insert into table, just look for select insert and get the snippet for that operation. That is very useful, but let's see how we can create custom snippets. Just go Ctrl-Shift-P, configure user snippets, and go to SQL JSON. It will open the file with the already configured custom snippets. If you want to create one, just add another entry in JSON file for your query. Name it, just give it a prefix and description, and you're ready to go. That's very useful and very easy to create many useful snippets to make your job easier. Let's see how the snippet works. Look for our snippet. Yes, it's there on the list. Works. The next very important feature of Azure Data Studio is the usage of extensions. Extensions can be provided by Microsoft or the community, which means everyone can contribute to the extensions. If you like to read about extensions a little bit more, just go to the Microsoft Docs, Azure Data Studio, extensions. Let's see how we can use the extensions that are there already. On the left-hand side menu of the Azure Data Studio, at the bottom there is a button Extensions. At first you will see the recommended extensions. Just select the extension and click Install. Once it is installed, you can use it. Like the extension for Central Management Server, which is available in Management Studio. Just go to servers, connect, and at the bottom you will see CMS. You can do the same with any other extension. Look, for instance, for Who is Active, the famous Sprock created by Adam Mechanic, which is available in Azure Data Studio as an extension. You can also read the documentation of the extension that author created. If you are using PowerShell, just find the extension for PowerShell and install it. It's very easy. If you are missing the information about SQL Server Agent, just find the extension, install it, and when you connect to the server, you will see the tab SQL Agent, where you have all the information about SQL Agent jobs, and you can edit them. Next on the list are Insight widgets. The Insight widgets convert the T-SQL queries that you use to monitor servers and databases and turns them into insightful visualizations. If you like to learn more, just go to Azure Microsoft Docs, Azure Data Studio, Insight widgets. Let's see how they work in the Azure Data Studio. On the list of connected servers, right-click on the server and select Manage. You will see the dashboard, the default dashboard, and it contains some charts. The same applies to databases. Right-click on the database, select Manage, and you'll see the simple default dashboard for databases. Let's create custom widgets. Select two saved scripts, one for database and one for server. In order to create widgets, we need the scripts to be saved to files. One query is to find the indexes in database. That's the database widget. We want to make a chart. It will be bar, and we can customize this. We can also save the chart as an image, but we want to create an insight. When we click that button, it will create the JSON file. Now run the query for servers. It just shows us the backups, the last backups for on the server. We don't want the chart, we want the table. So let's create the table and create an insight from this query. We have our insights. Now create the custom widget. Go to settings, control comma, look for dashboards. Go to database widgets and click edit in setting JSON. Look for the database widgets section. And under this section, you will see multiple widgets already being there. So just create another entry, copy the insight we just created, and put it into settings.json under the database widgets. Save the file and go to the database dashboard. Again, right-click on the database, manage. Scroll down and you'll see our widget. Let's do similar thing with server widgets. Let's grab the JSON for our server inside. Go to settings, dashboard, server widgets, and find the section in the setting JSON file for servers. Unfortunately, it's not there. So go back to settings and highlight the gear near the server widgets and just copy the JSON part. Now we can paste it into settings and you'll see the default widgets. And as for databases, just add the new section with our new widget. Save the file, go to the server, manage, and our widget is there. SQL Notebooks in Azure Data Studio are a powerful tool. You can create the instruction using text in Markdown and add the scripts, interactive scripts like PowerShell or T-SQL that every user can run and see the results in the document. Let's see how to create the notebook in Azure Data Studio. If you'd like to learn more about Azure Data Studio Notebooks, go to Azure Data Studio Notebooks. We can create new notebook using shortcut Alt Windows N or File menu New Notebook. Just right-click on the server and select New Notebook. It will open the interface for New Notebook. We can see few buttons, code to provide the code, text to use the text in Markdown, kernel, and attach to, which right now is connected to localhost, but we can select any connection. Under kernel, we see multiple languages like SQL, Scala, R, Python, or PowerShell. Let's stick to SQL for now. We can add new code by clicking on the button below. So we just start typing in Markdown whatever we want, like the header with one hash sign and header the second level with two hash signs. And we can use all what Markdown provides to document our notebooks. We can also use the lists. So if we want to create the proper document, we can. So that's the text. We can also add the code, which is the fun part. So we can click either the button below or just the button from the top and add the code. The code will be related to the kernel we've chosen. So let's type some SQL and add some more code. Let's see the version of the SQL. So now we can run each code separately. Just click on the left-hand side play button and it will run the query. We can do the same with the other query. We can save the results to JSON or CSV. If we want to, we can run all the cells at once, which might be useful for some routine. The last part on the agenda is why. Why you want to use Azure Data Studio. Possibly, you have other system than Windows, so you cannot use Management Studio. The Azure Data Studio runs on Linux and MacOS. Azure Data Studio helps you writing queries easier and faster with the IntelliSense and snippets when you can configure your own snippets. You are also not limited to the default installation. You can use extensions either provided by Microsoft or the community, or create your own extensions. Make your management easier with custom Insight widgets. Create the dashboards for the information you really need. And finally, with SQL Notebooks, you can create interactive guides and manuals for your users for troubleshooting, for common processes, for routine tasks. If you enjoy Azure Data Studio and you want to learn more, go to the docs microsoft.com SQL Azure Data Studio. That concludes the short overview of Azure Data Studio as part of Azure Advent Calendar 2019. I hope you enjoyed that. I want to thank you, Richard and Greg, for hosting this event this year, and I'm thankful that they gave me the opportunity to talk to you about this tool. I wish you a Merry Christmas and hope you will enjoy the rest of the series. Thank you.